and it's going to be showing good.
Let's go live.
We are now live. Hey, people.
Hey, Instagram.
Okay. So Instagram, we are live. It is so good to be here. Tuesday, 9 p.m. It's a pleasure. I'm having a lot of fun here. We have some amazing guests with us today. I can't wait to bring them on. It's just going to be fantastic. So we're just checking that everything is all set up and all ready for us to go live. Ulrich is pinning the comment. You know the topic that we're discussing. It is the wonderful art of communication. Hey guys, I see you. I see you.
Should we be long ways or short ways?
Come closer.
Portrait on Instagram.
Portrait.
Yes, please.
Oh, mate. Yeah, that is portrait.
No, that's
Not landscape.
No.
portrait is up there.
Portrait is upright.
Yeah.
We are upright. Oh no, the phone isn't. The phone isn't upright.
No. You guys are on your side.
I'll have fun with this now.
For real?
Yeah, we didn't prepare for this.
Hey guys, welcome.
How's it going?
Welcome.
How's it going?
1 second.
Hope you guys are good.
Hey.
We
Hey,
are
Ty.
alive.
Woohoo! Okay, so we are just doing some last minute tweaks to make sure everything is all sweet for
Yeah,
you.
I think we're good. Hold on.
Be upside down.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
Are we now upside down, right?
We're upside
You
down.
are upside
You're
down.
still
I'm
upside
so
down.
sorry,
We're
guys.
Okay.
You gotta
You keep going. We're just
turn
having fun. We're just
There
having
you
fun.
go. Yeah.
There you have it. Woo-hoo.
Come on, somebody.
Hey guys, so
Cool.
as you can see, we have wonderful guests with us today. We have the amazing, the wonderful, the lovely Clif Marie.
Who's that? How you doing? How y'all doing?
He's not American, but the
Oh,
American
God.
accent's going to come out tonight.
It's okay. Listen, we are all one. We are all one. You let any accent come out tonight. We want to hear it all
Oh,
because
man.
today we are
Okay.
speaking about the art of
He's giving
communication,
you freedom.
and we have
Yes.
you guys telling us what you do. So if the American, if the Japanese, if the Chinese, if the Jamaican comes
Wow.
out,
Jamaican, yes.
Let it come. Let it flow. Let it flow.
And, you know,
let it all flow. We want to have a lot of fun today, and we are going to be talking about some really difficult but intense but emotional, just everything. We're gonna go there. So if you've got any questions, light up the box, send it, put it in the chat. Literally, guys. Hey, how you guys doing? We want to hear from you. We want to know what's going on, because at the end of the day, it's not just about us speaking with our ideas and our questions. It is about you guys. It's about you sharing and letting us know what you want to hear. And Clif and Marie, listen,
Yes.
these two, they are solid as a rock. I want to hear.
By the grace of God.
Humble servant.
By the grace
We
of
are
God.
humbly at the feet, hearing
Hey,
what nuggets you
oh,
guys want to
Jesus.
drop.
Don't even go.
No. But I have to say it. The reason why I have to say it is because you guys ain't been married for a couple minutes. You've been in the game for a little while. So I want to
We're in
know.
the game, man. We're in the
wanna
game.
know
We're in the game.
How you keeping it moving? How are you keeping it going? How are you keeping it
Jesus.
100? We wanna ask these tough questions because
Let's pray now.
yeah, the people that
We're ready.
We're ready.
Too funny. Okay, so first we're going to do a couple of checks before we get started and before we start asking any questions. Everybody who's on the chat on Instagram, please give us a thumbs up if you can hear myself and Ulrich nice and clearly. Let's get that first. So thumbs up from anyone if you can hear myself and Ulrich nice and clearly. We've got a few of you just waiting for people to get a couple of messages going. You guys need to come into the frame a bit more. Okay, cool. But yeah, we've got the thumbs up. Excellent. Okay, so you can hear us nice and clearly. Can you hear our wonderful guests? Guess we're going to
Oh, hi.
How
How
y'all
y'all
doing?
doing? We going with the American accent at the moment, just for the sound check. You know what I'm saying? Flew in today. Despite COVID, we flew in.
Brilliant,
Detroit
brilliant,
original.
brilliant. Okay, so you can hear Cliff and Marie, you can hear us. Is there any echo? Is there any feedback? Is it all okay? Because if it is, we're going to jump straight in. Just give us one, it's all okay, thumbs up, something. And then we know we can go.
Amazing. I think we're good.
Yeah. We're good to go.
Cool. All right. So good
Awesome.
evening, everybody. Welcome to Love Collective. If you're watching this live, or you might be watching this on the rebroadcast, you might be thinking, who are these beautiful couples that are in front of you? But if you don't know who we are, my name is Ulrich.
And I'm Siobhan.
And you've tuned into Love Collective, and our ethos is believing in love again. And simply what that means is that regardless of where you are in your relationship, right, there is always room for you to believe that much more for something better. Believe in love again.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
So we have been talking about communication, the art of communication, because communication is an art. It's not just something that you just do just because you're able to speak, but there's actually an art to it. There's a way that you have to conduct yourself. There's a way you have to use your words in order to communicate how you feel, you know, to your significant other or your parents, your siblings, your friends, your colleagues. Communication is massive. And we have been talking about various elements of it. And we've got the amazing, very, very good friends of ours, Clif and Marie, who are, gosh, what are they? They are singers. They are parents. They are pastors.
Come on,
they are ministers. And I'm sure they're going to tell you about all the other stuff that they do as well.
Absolutely. I'm going to hand it over to you guys. Please tell us about yourselves.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, first of all, we just want to say it's an honor and a privilege to be here. It really is an honor and privilege just to be counted
with the cokers,
with the main
the cokers. Okay.
My phone is blessed.
There's an anointing coming through the line just because of the cokers. Praise the Lord.
But now, big up, congrats on everything that you guys are doing.
Yeah, awesome.
Thank you guys.
Absolutely.
Just to share a little something on what we did, what our past experience. So, Marie, do you want to kick us off?
Yeah. So, we've been married. It will be 23 years in July. 23 years in July.
July the 18th.
Yeah.
Those that want to buy gifts and like
we'll send you the email.
We'll send you cash out.
Lovely.
Put it in the cash app, you know.
Okay.
Your love gift.
We're gonna try not to tell too many jokes. So we don't have to tell jokes.
Yeah,
We'll behave. We'll be good.
Be yourself.
So 23 years in July. It's been awesome. It's been an awesome journey. We have 3 children. And no more biological. Biological.
Okay.
No more. I had the conversation with Jesus, and we were all on the same page, so we're good.
But he has a final say.
So you didn't have a conversation with Clif then?
Well, he wasn't coming on board. He wasn't kind of coming on board with me. So I spoke to Jesus, and I said, "We're good. 3 is great."
God has the final say.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Wow.
After 23 years,
He says,
after 23 years, he's still talking about final say.
Yes,
we're done.
Who am I to argue with the Lord? Who am I to
We're
argue
done.
with God?
No, we're done. We're done. So we're talking about the art of communication. As you can see, sometimes you don't always agree. Yeah, so we have 2 little foster children, and I think that's enough. 5 children is enough. Praise God.
Wow.
And the Bible says be fruitful and multiply. So
and we have done that. We have 3 children.
We have to be obedient to his word.
And we have, praise Jesus.
That's
okay.
Good.
So that's our family. Music wise, obviously we've been singing. Maria allowed me to sing with her.
Whatever.
I'm mainly a musician.
He started out as a musician.
Because we started out as a musician.
Yeah.
So Marie was the main singer, and I used to play keyboards for Marie while she sang.
Oh wow!
Yeah. And so obviously, you know.
And then here and there, he'd kind of got harmony, and then people start saying, "Oh, hello." That sounded good.
And this is even before we were married.
Okay.
He was after me for a while, guys. He was after me for a while.
She wanted me from then.
Everywhere I was there, he was there.
So she kind of tricked me. Can you come and play for me? So all those little tricks.
Anyway.
Yeah.
That's his story.
So yeah, but I gradually it evolved, and obviously we've done an album. We've got one full album and about 6 or 7 singles.
Yeah.
Okay. One.
That's our music side of things.
Yeah.
Marie is also an author.
I am. So I wrote a biblical action adventure for children. Trilogy Fifth Dimension.
Yes.
And my 3 children are the main characters in the story. When they read chapter 1, they were like, my little one was like, I'm famous. I'm like, not quite. But yeah.
Not yet.
That's not quite. And then we also created a card game for couples called My Truth as well.
That's what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, which has been blessing couples and hey, gotta be real.
Oh, and in the last 3 years, we've also started our ministry. So which was act of obedience. It was nothing that I wanted to do.
That's what it was.
Not on my agenda.
No way.
Seriously. Wow.
No.
It was simply an act of obedience. I was thinking, man, you sure? You got the right person? But so Mighty Movers Ministries is Triple M. It's our church. So it's
Wow.
And it's like 3 years now, right?
3 years.
3 years.
Yeah,
just
3 years
celebrated in lockdown. We celebrated 3 years. 3 years in ministry. So it's been great. Obviously, you've been a young church in a new church. Obviously, trying to deal with COVID as a young church. That was just like no one had the rules. Plus, we're a young church as well, so it's just like, hey, we just depend on God. But you know, we made it, and we're still standing. We're still going.
Amen.
Absolutely. And I'm going to let you into a secret.
Go for it.
There we go.
Don't tell anyone. I'm actually studying to be a counsellor.
Come on,
somebody.
I've been hibernating, working hard.
Wow.
I should qualify by the grace of God next year.
Come on. Praise
It's needed.
Yeah.
So
it's needed in the body.
Definitely.
It's needed.
Definitely.
Oh, that's fantastic. You know what? Like, there's so many areas that I want to delve into. I want to go into the book. I want to go into the card. I want to go into the ministry. Because you touch on so many areas. So straight away, I want to say, why COVID, not young ministry? Like, how did that affect? But I have to stay so focused. So please bear with me as I fight off the temptation to go into that area.
In your hands.
And get into the topic of today. So the topic that we're discussing today is the art of communication, and we want to find out from you guys. So you said you've been married 23 years.
July.
So what does communication mean to you guys?
So, do you want to answer it, or should I answer it?
You start.
Lady before gentleman, isn't it?
You know what? The first thing that always springs to mind is my wedding day, when my nan said to us in her speech, tip a little water every day. And she was referring to a plant, but she was saying in marriage, tip a little water, say something nice to each other, tell each other you love each other, tell each other, give each other a hug, give each other a kiss, do something every single day. Just tip a little water in that plant, and that plant will never die.
That's good. That's good.
I hope you guys are hearing that.
That's a beautiful start. Tip a little water. Tip a little water.
And that's how she said it. Tip a little water.
And that is not just for your significant other.
Yes.
That could be for your children too, parents.
Yeah, absolutely.
For your brothers and sisters. Say something nice.
Encouraging. It's about putting the seed in the ground, but also watering it. So you're working towards something. And do you know what, guys? Like, we can stay right here.
All right, so we're done? All right, peace. We go.
Bye, good night.
No, but what I love it is, it's about understanding that when we get married, we're not on the mountaintop forever,
Right.
and we need time to grow. We need time to actually work
Mature.
together and mature, because at the end of the day, you're starting out on the road, on the journey. And the fact that you're saying to yourself, actually, from the start, from the outlook, from the outset, I am going to tip a little water. I'm going to try my best to make sure I am like, you want that person to have a breath of fresh air from you. You want that person to feel refreshed from you.
Absolutely.
So if you're tipping a little water into this thing, I'm going to make sure I'm pouring into you. So I'm looking for what I can give. I like what
pour in.
Your grandmother was a woman of wisdom, you know. That was a woman of God. That was a woman of God.
Because
Amazing.
Sometimes it's not the big things.
It really isn't.
And it's those little things that go a long way.
Yeah.
And I think in connection with that, when we first got married, one of the first things I said to Marie was, "Teach me how to love you."
I feel a song.
Teach me how to love you.
Bring in that bass. Bring in the bass.
All the married brothers need to come together and write a single. Teach me how to love.
So,
big question.
Because we all come from different backgrounds. Our parents have had their way of communicating and showing love. And sometimes what Marie saw was different to what I saw. And my parents are more old school Jamaican. Yeah. Marie's parents were Jamaican.
I saw my mum and dad squeezing onto a one-seater sofa. There's a 3-seater over here, but they're squeezing up on the one seat, just hugging up. And you know, but yes, they were very open, and they were very old school.
Yeah, we were very old school. Put that out, not here.
Oh no,
not here.
Don't touch. No kissing. Stop that.
We don't have that. We don't have that here. We don't have that.
Oh wow.
So when I said to Marie, teach me how to love you, it was almost me saying, I haven't got it written down. I haven't got you stuff down.
Yeah.
A lot of time we as men, we think, yeah man, it's me. Oh, it's me. Hey, I love it, Mr. Lover. You know what I mean? Sometimes you can say, okay, baby, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Because we don't always get it right. We don't always get it right. We're Mr. Romantic.
That's good.
We're all that in a bag of chips. But it's me saying, or Marie saying to me, this is how I want to be treated. This is how I want to be loved. This is what I respond to. This is what I don't respond to. This is what I don't like. So, and it wasn't necessarily ground rules, but I don't know who people are on.
That is too funny. Carry on.
So, but in the sense that when I said to Marie, one thing I said to Marie, please don't nag me.
Yeah, that was his big thing. Never nag me.
I said to Marie, don't
from day
nag
one.
Me. And it was just like, as long as you don't nag me, I don't get my ears, I'm cool. And Marie, on the other hand, Marie said, don't shout at me.
Don't raise your voice.
Don't raise your voice at me.
I don't like it.
Don't like it. So I knew from the get-go that if we ever had disagreement, T-Dantong will meet,
That's right. Will meet. That's right.
Me not like
it. But knowing how to deal with it in a way that we would appreciate with me, I'm not going to raise my voice anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So sorry, but when he said don't nag him, that was like, okay, you know what? I literally ingrained that in my brain. That nagging is not going to work for this man. Just don't do it. And have I nagged you in 22 and a half years?
Oh, glory.
It come close. Not really.
What?
No, but Marie has respected that. That. And I think just knowing, because again, marriage is about me out loving Marie and Marie out loving me.
Love that.
And it's not necessarily to say, I'm better than you, you're better than me. No, I must love you 100%. You must love me 100%. Sometimes marriages break down, or where sometimes things break down is where it's one-sided.
That's
we
right.
have one party showing all
giving,
the love,
so
giving, and the person just there
receiving.
Giving. Bro, it's got to be both ways. It's got to, and it's not even 50-50. It's 100-100.
That's right.
Yeah.
and it being 100, there's no room for error. I'm not saying we're always going to get it right and we're always perfect, don't. Because as you say, sometimes you're on the mountain top, but sometimes life happens.
Totally.
Yeah. Sometimes those valleys will come. Sometimes those bills need to be paid, and you don't know where the money's coming from.
Come on.
I don't know if you've ever been there, but we've been there several times. I'm gonna be real with y'all.
Well, listen, we know
where the money's from.
We know it.
I remember it got so low at one stage that we went to Tesco's, Sainsbury's, and I think we had like £1.
I think it was £1.60.
£1.60
to feed the family.
And it was just like, how on earth
and we found some broken rice.
Yep.
Didn't know you could get a bag of broken rice for like 50p.
Yeah.
Got some cheap little corned beef, and ketchup. And we whipped that baby up.
Yeah.
Come on.
And
kept it going.
And we kept it going. And those struggles kind of make marriage.
Yeah.
Especially when you purpose in your mind, this thing is going to work.
Yeah.
And having that staying ability, the ability to endure everything, you know.
So what would you if you don't mind me interjecting, like what would you like say to, because I speak to quite a few young people, and sometimes the mentality is that some people kind of feel entitled, where they feel like as young as they are, you know, they've gone through so much.
Yeah, why should I have to?
That they don't really have this kind of perspective of building. They kind of want things to kind of be at a particular place. They want their partners to kind of already be established, already have careers, you know, have
all that good stuff
and all of that stuff. Like what would you advise them in terms of them looking for a partner, you know, and just how that relates to communication? Because I feel like we're in a generation where loads of people, like that whole essence of building and struggling together, a lot of people get a little bit giddy about that, and they're not really on that too tough. But
it's microwave. Beep, beep, beep. Done. Beep, beep, beep. Money's there. Beep, beep. No, that doesn't build. That doesn't build who you are. If you've not been through something, you can't expect. Some people want, you know, everything to be there, you know, the leather settees and the this, that, and the other. He's got to have money, and he could still get sick. Then what are you going to do? When he ain't working and the money ain't coming in, then what? So life happens. And I remember we went through some really tough stuff, and, you know, that we describe it as a trapdoor opening up, and we fell, boom. And then we were like, we can't get any lower than this. I mean, we're good. This is the lowest. Boom. Whoa, another trapdoor went lower down. Okay, now there's no way we could get any. Boom, again. Just things kept going wrong. It kept going crazy.
And for all of that, you still got to do ministry. You still got to go
lead the worship.
You still got to give.
Lead it.
Church, you still got to give. In everything.
Bring the people into the presence of the Lord.
And keep your marriage strong. And so it's when you go through tough times that your marriage is made.
What we realized is that at points we were leaning on each other, because I felt like I wasn't standing up anymore. I'm done, and he was saying the same thing.
Not each other, but just like
we were realizing we were actually leaning on each other, and that's the only way through God why we were still standing.
And remember, and I remember, you don't love somebody for what they have. You love them for who they are.
Gems.
Because I didn't have everything. Marie didn't have everything, and we're still growing. We're still developing.
That's good.
We had £50 a month when we got married.
Come on,
£50 a month. That's all we had to play with. So ain't no going out for dinner and all that lovely stuff, all that good stuff. No. £50 a month. That's like £12 a week. We could spend. Everything else went into the mortgage and went into paying off a bit of the wedding, and that's real stuff. But that made us.
But we learned to then, when things got better, you know, we learned to appreciate those dry seasons. And in those dry seasons, when another season comes, that's you think we've been there before and we got through it. And I think again that's where communication comes in, because your communication says, "Hi, hun." let's be real. Sometimes I like to go in my cave.
Yeah, man cave.
Listen,
man cave. What is that thing?
You're about to trouble something. You're about to trouble something.
What is that thing?
We spoke about this 3 weeks ago.
Now we're in, guys. Now we're in. Buckle up.
Let's shift position. Talk about it.
Marie is very much a...
I want to talk about it
now. Me, I need to process.
Come on, sir. Come on.
So
processing.
Talk about it.
So sometimes you have heated fellowship.
We don't argue. Heated fellowship.
Not arguments. Like, you have heated fellowship. Right? I don't have any questions.
That's too funny.
But sometimes Marie will be the first one to... Most times Marie's the first one. Okay,
we need to talk. Come on.
What's going on?
Oh, sorry. Hold on. You said Marie would be the one. Marie would be the one to come to
bring it together. Bring it together.
Most of the time.
Most of the time. Tell the truth.
Some most. It's the same.
Some most.
Some most.
Not quite.
But generally, 9
Okay, cool.
5 times out of 10, Marie will come.
Man cave.
But a lot of the time, Marie will say her piece because Marie calls a spade a spade.
Yeah.
I'm the diplomat. So I would like go around. But sometimes once Marie has said what she has to say, I'm ready to talk. And sometimes Marie is just like, Marie's said her piece and like, oh, Marie's clear. She's got a fair chest.
Let's move it on. Let's go on.
No, brother man.
I'm going in my cave, bro. Not ready yet.
But I have learned in saying, because in our early stages, I used to just go quiet.
Just say nothing.
Listen,
so I don't know what's going on.
I feel like you guys are taking on.
But I've learned
the thing.
Tell Marie, leave it with me. Do what you're saying.
Give me a minute.
Give me a moment, and I'll respond.
I prefer that than the silence.
So in dealing with the communication, I've learned to adapt to how we can communicate successfully. Rather than like say, I say nothing. I'm upstairs.
I'm vexed.
Upstairs, but Marie's.
I'm vexed because he ain't talking.
Oh yeah, because I haven't said anything. Marie's like, right. I said my piece.
My neck doesn't do that. My neck doesn't do that.
That's the interpretation.
Wow.
So I have to, and Marie has to be, and then I'll come around and say, okay, but I was wrong. I saw what happened. I didn't think it happened. Not always wrong, but I had to come around. But I've learned in my communication and to get effective communication, give me time to process.
100%.
100%.
See, that to me is better than silence. So in the early days, he would just shut down.
Yeah.
What is going on?
Like most men, like most men.
Yeah. So I just.
100.
I see your hair. That was beautiful.
No.
Your hair is beautiful.
Hey, she already knows. That was definitely me. And it's so powerful that you said man cave, because we literally just spoke. We had 2 weeks where we talked about man cave and autopilot and how to navigate in those seasons. And I think one of the things that I did was breaking down what the man cave is, because I think for many women, they have experienced it, but they don't understand what's happening on the other side, because none of the men have come out to say this is actually what's going on, because the truth of the matter is we don't know what to do.
A lot of times
we don't know what to do. And so my next question to Cliff is, when you now came to the point where you are now ready to respond, what did you say?
I just spoke from my heart. And says, and that's where effective communication comes in again, because sometimes it's a simple misunderstanding.
Come on.
And perception.
Oh yeah.
Perception, I think, is one of the biggest killers in relationships. Because when you perceive, well, I thought you meant this. No, that's not what I meant. I meant this. And once you perceive, what you perceive as, the worst one is the worst one is, hi babe, how you doing? Yeah, I'm okay. Oh, cool. Now, she's answered my question, so she's okay. But what she actually wanted was for you to delve deeper.
Dig deeper.
Say,
make an effort.
What are you sure you're okay, babe? You don't look okay, babe. You know what I mean? Right. So I'm just like, I've learned, not just to say,
read the room.
I'm okay. Okay, bye. I'm a guy. Yes, she said, I asked the question. Come on, because some men don't even ask the question. Some men don't ask me, how are you? Ooh, and some people, and some men, they don't ask, and if they do, they say, hey, and they accept the first response and say, yeah, I'm fine. Cool. Not realizing that I'm fine means I've got to do this, I've got the kids are driving me mad, I don't know how to do this,
tired.
And you as a man have to unpack that.
Well,
come on.
And if you don't know how to unpack, you need to learn how to unpack. Sit down with a cup of coffee or whatever she wants.
Yes, sir.
And say, babe, what does that mean?
Yeah.
How are you really? How are you really? And then that shows time. That shows, oh, you do have an understanding, or you do want to get me, or you want to delve. I suppose it's taking her, and then you realize, and rather than coming back, 20 minutes later, but you said you were fine. Well, I wasn't really fine. But why didn't you say you wasn't fine?
And I think that's powerful, because somebody's asked, are you sure men don't know, or do they not want to know?
Come on now.
And I think that's a powerful question, because I think sometimes because this goes back to how you were raised and what you saw growing up.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Right.
Because I think sometimes sometimes I think women have an expectation of men based on what they have dreamt and what they desire a man to be.
Hollywood.
But don't realize that your dream man may not have the characteristics that you dreamt, because he doesn't come from that. Come on. Because he comes from a background where his dad, you know what I mean, came home from work, sat in front of the TV, had dinner provided for, he brought in the money, and that was it. That's his perspective. So for him, it's not a case that, they don't know. It's just that's just how they are. That's what they've seen growing up. And so they've never been challenged to go to that place to ask, or like you said, go deeper.
Correct.
Go on.
And again, that's why premarital counselling is so important.
Very.
Pre-engagement counselling is even more important. Pre-engagement counselling, and because sometimes you go through pre-engagement counselling, and nobody needs to know that you think about getting married, but there's an idea, there's a thought, and then obviously when you go through premarital counselling, so our card game, my chief card game, okay, michaelconway.com. So we had a couple. The website's down at the moment, but we're working on it. We had a couple who were thinking about getting married.
Yes.
They played my truth card game, which is all about communication and your truth. They played the card game, and then they realized that they weren't compatible and decided not to get married.
They realized they were going two different directions.
Wow.
And they shut the thing down.
When they told us, I was just like,
oh my gosh, we're not meant to do that. Oh my gosh, that's not what it's for.
But because it asks those questions that generally don't get asked, or everybody's too lovey-dovey and no one wants to
not being real.
I want 6 kids, and my dad,
I don't want any kids.
I don't want any kids. You know what I mean? But because it asks those questions, we were then able to unpack. And as you said, your what you saw growing up was then brought to the table, and then both perceptions. Well, I'm expecting this, or expectations. I'm expecting this. You expecting that. It's all put out there.
But it was so good that they were honest enough with each other and themselves to say, you know what, this actually sounds like we're going in two different directions.
Yeah,
and they shut it down. Now they could have got married, but perhaps they'd be divorced by now.
Yeah.
Come on.
I love the honesty and the vulnerability of the two people, that as they played the game, they could actually see things unfolding. And when they saw those red flags, they didn't ignore them. They didn't say, oh yeah, well, let's keep going because I've invested this much time already. We can patch it up later. But actually, let's get to the point that we can be strong enough and we can be mature enough to say, you know what? I think we want different things out of this relationship.
Absolutely.
So maybe we need to look at being with other people to arrive at that destination. And I think as hard as it is to go through that at that stage, it is so much less than what it would be
better.
If
Can you imagine?
And you had invested in all of that. It's a no-brainer. But I love even what Arlene said on here. If there were more people going for counselling before marriage, there might be less need for the counselling thereafter because things are ironed out. And I love what you said, Cliff, about having the counselling pre-engagement. Because when you're engaged, you've already announced the one.
Yeah, got the ring on.
Exactly. And you're embarrassed. You're embarrassed.
So you go through it. So you just go through it.
Back up, you're embarrassed.
Yeah, I'm back up. It's so for the English, embarrassed.
Sorry,
embarrassed.
Exactly.
Embarrassed.
No, but you're right, and it's so key, and no one really, especially in the church circuit, nobody wants to talk about it and go there and ask the questions and feel, nah, man, and then she called it off.
No one wants to go through that.
No one wants to go through that. And sometimes you're backed up in the corner to go through the marriage when really you didn't really deal with those niggly
at the right
issues.
time.
Question. So, as a man, right? How important is it to communicate your feelings? How important has that been for the both of you? Like, what's the transition been like? Is it a thing where it's like, no, I don't talk about how I feel? Do you know what I mean? Or did you have a point where you struggled with that or transition to a point now where you are able to freely communicate like how you actually feel about a particular thing?
So Marie's always been the talker. I don't put you in it, but she's always been the talker. So for me to communicate, I was always a good listener. So I could hear Marie going like, yes, babe, no, babe, yes, babe, no, babe. So when it came to me, but when it came to me, I was kind of reserved, but Marie was still, she asked the right questions to eventually get it out of me.
Right.
And I've learned, obviously, before we got married, we were best friends. So to be honest, we would talk about anything anyway.
Yeah. True.
Even because, to be honest, oh man, should I go there?
Right.
Before we actually hooked up, I was interested in Marie's friends.
Yeah. A few years before.
And so such was our friendship. I
was trying to hook him up with this girl.
But we would talk.
Wasn't working.
We would talk for hours. So I guess, and so eventually, I saw the light and saw Marie for who she was.
Hold a minute, she's been here all along.
Working on my left side.
So being able to open up, because our friendship was such a place that it was, we were able to talk about most things.
Yeah.
Obviously, so as a man, there were certain things like, you know what, this bill's coming. I don't want to freak Marie out. So sometimes I would hold that and say, But then even then it was bad, because when I eventually would tell Marie, this bill's coming, I don't know how we're going to pay it. Marie would come up with good ideas. Marie's an ideas lady. So she would know the right thing to say. So I've learned and I've adjusted to say, don't keep it in. Sometimes two heads are better than one, and sometimes Marie might have this. But sometimes you as a husband, you want to protect your wife from worrying about this and worrying about that. You take that. Sometimes you take that pressure on yourself, and even sometimes that's not good, because sometimes you can't do it. Because I tell you another thing again. When I was out of work, Marie was working. Marie was earning more money than me. So as a man,
how did that?
Come on.
How was that?
I ain't got the money. I've got this bill to pay. I've got to say, Marie, can you help me out? Now, as a man, I could say, the other man, but such was our friendship. I've got to say, such was our friendship. I eventually was able to say, Marie, I haven't got the money, And Marie had the money, but she didn't make me feel small. She never made me feel less of a man. So then I was then able to communicate, open up and say, "Mate, I just haven't got it." Or so coming up with that brick wall, coming up with that that hurdle allowed me to be free to express and open up. So
and I think, and Chris said it, I was very conscious. I know men are the providers. So you know how a man is going to feel if there's no money coming in on his side, blah, blah, blah. And so when the money come in, I'll say, okay, Cliff, look, this is what's come in. What should we do with it? How should we work this month? What needs to be covered? So it was never kind of like, well, anyway, I brought my money in.
Come on.
Yeah, neck flopping because you feel like you're all that in a bag of chips. Never. Yeah. I honored my husband. He's the husband. He's still the head of this house. He's still the priest of this house. And so, to kind of put the money on the table, say, okay, what do we do with this? What do you think? So even in that season, he never felt that he didn't have any money because actually the money was our money and we made it work. We made it work.
So it made it easier for me to open up and realizing that because I'm vulnerable.
Yeah.
And some not all, some women is like, me ruled. We were the chosen in this house. You know what I mean? Some people think that, but the woman that she is and the person that she is never once made me feel like that. So opening up and saying, expressing how I feel was never, what's Marie gonna say?
Powerful.
Amazing, love it.
And that's why tough times make marriages. It makes you, develops you. You realize, look, honey, we've been through that. Honey, we've been through when there's been no money in the bank, and we're still standing. We're still here. So you're gonna say that?
Yeah,
I love it. I love how you guys have shared. One, because you actually allowed yourself not to be puffed up, not to be prideful, but actually to humble yourself and say, do you know what? It is what it is. This is the situation we're in right now. And Marie, what I love is you didn't now think, right, well, that usurps his position. I'm now the head. No, actually, the head of the home doesn't change because of who earns the money.
Come on.
I say that again.
That's not the master. That's not the precedent or the predicating factor of who's the head. Who wears the trousers? No, there is an order in this home, and the order is set by the Lord, and He has said that the husband is the head, and I will come under. So I love the fact, and it's such a similar testimony to ours. It's unreal. So many things you shared is almost identical to what we've experienced. So we're smiling because we're hearing truth come back to us. But what I love about it is when you were earning your paycheck, you weren't coming back to say, right, well, I'm giving you this much.
No.
Because already that gives a hierarchy. Already that alienates. Already that
absolutely.
It just belittles, and it's not the way. And I love the fact that in wisdom you were able to say, okay, so here's what's coming, what should we do with it? You're still coming back to him making that decision. And what I love is it goes back to we're a team. And because you spent 100%, that time we are one friends before, like you say now, you're able to be one because you were best friends. You knew that each other, you had each other's best, each other's back, each other's best interest at heart. It's not about who's got the money. It's ours. It's a we mentality. This is ours.
Totally.
So my thing is, I think it's powerful. I guess in my mind, I'm trying to think about the younger generation and how they're thinking about these types of things, and people who might even be listening to this later. So what do we then say to the young people who are trying to still adopt that model of the man is the breadwinner, and he is the one who brings in the money or builds the security, because at the same time there is still nothing technically wrong with that. However, my only issue with that is that when life happens, there is now there's no wisdom for how to now navigate, because when things tough, because a lot of those thoughts are cultural. Because like Siobhan said, Bible didn't talk about headship being about who makes more money. Headship was based on what God stipulated. Do you understand what I'm saying? So how do we kind of debunk this kind of, I can't even say it's new because it's actually old.
Yeah.
There's an old mentality of I run the house. I need to make the money. Because my thing is, because we know people now who that's their culture. Do you understand?
Yeah.
But in this very season, particularly with COVID, people have lost their jobs.
Yeah.
Totally. 100%. 100%.
You know what I mean?
And I yeah, absolutely. And I think I wanted to say that not only that, you have women that are very successful entrepreneurs now.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're in a different time. So she could be coming to the table with a whole lot more. Do you know what I mean? And she could be earning a whole lot more because she's been very successful entrepreneurially as well as in her job. And so young men have to accept that this is a different season. And so, you know, she could be bringing a lot more to the table. So,
but then with that perspective, the woman, she has to realize that she's not to be, not to lord over him.
That's right.
Say, look, the golden rule, you know, he who has the gold makes all the rules. No. The golden rule. No, not in marriage. You know what I mean? Not in marriage. Because you have all that not in this house. Because, but you realize that as powerful and as financially successful she is, you know what I mean? She is still it's still a team effort.
Yeah, and he's still the priest of the home.
And the husband is still the priest of the home. Absolutely. As I said, it's not based on your financial status.
Absolutely.
And it's been able to educate the successful one to say, you know, I still submit to my husband.
Yeah.
And a lot of women don't like submit because I like that word submit because I think it's, you know, you're being kept under your foot or under your shoe. It's nothing to do with that. Yeah. It's about being able to yield and say, you know, I acknowledge you as the priest. I acknowledge you as to leading us. Now, what the key is that sometimes she might be better with money than the husband.
There you go. There you go.
So if she's better with money than the husband, then let her run the finances. Balance it at the end of the month. Balance the checkbook. Consequently, she might have all the money, but she's not good with money. He's the better. He's the more manager. He's able to manage it. Know your lane.
Yep, absolutely. Work together.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You it's not about you shining bright and this one shining bright. No, you stay in your lane. You stay in your course. And when everyone is in their lane, that's where success comes. So it doesn't matter if this one's earning things, but we still come together as a team.
Yeah, must be your strongest.
And
together.
wherever you are stronger, wherever you're strongest, you run with that. Okay, I'm more stronger in doing this. You run with that. You run with that. But it's coming together, and it's about the woman not being, or the wife not being seen and saying, "Look, he can't tell me what to do. I got my own money. He can't tell me what to do because I can do this. He can't just go tell. I can just go tell. I'm moving out tonight. No." I'm gonna say, you gonna tell me your mom, I can pay my bills.
I don't need you. I need your money.
You see where television? You see where
television? Hollywood.
That's it.
Hollywood.
It's the television.
It's dangerous.
A lot of the marriages. A lot of the marriages, I'll tell you. Because what they see on TV, especially younger ones growing up, they see it on TV and think that, that's how much that sounds like act. It's false.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You see the TV programs, yeah? She don't wake up with makeup on. She don't wake up.
Exactly.
Hair's in place and
you got your weave on, you got your eye
that's all coming off, man.
That's all coming off. It don't look like that in the movies.
And even if it was there in the morning, I'll be scared.
It's a problem.
It'd be
So it's been able to come back into that reality of let's be real. We're a team moving together, and I think that's what you were learning to earlier about preconceptions that some people have. Well, he's gotta have this. He gotta have money. He gotta have a car.
He could lose it all.
He could lose it all.
All of it.
Maybe you've got the money.
For
maybe
better, for worse.
You've landed with me. He is not there yet. Maybe he's still studying. Support him.
For richer, for poorer.
And it's about, again, everybody giving 100%.
Yeah.
Because when one stops giving 100% or takes advantage or says, and Marie, and even I need to realize that in my marriage that I can't take Marie for granted. Marie is special. She's an incredible woman. All the things that she does, I'm halfway, but it's been able to, because some men take advantage of that.
Yeah.
I don't need to do it. Well, I can play PlayStation. I can be on Xbox. I can do that. You know what I mean? All night. No, you still got to do your bit. You still got to do your part. You still got to play your part as a man, as the priest of the house.
You on PlayStation all night, and she tired because she's doing everything, and then you get to the bedroom and you, hey, what she want to do is sleep.
Hello, somebody.
She want to sleep. She's tired. Somebody. You didn't help her. Wow. She's tired.
Oh, baby, you
leave her alone.
Oh, baby, you look lovely.
How did you contribute?
Exactly.
Wow.
Powerful.
So powerful.
And I think then again, I think that's why marriages you should have marriage mentors.
Yeah.
People who you look up to. When we first got married, my brother Patrick, I don't know Patrick, Pat and Claudine, they were normally like every week, we'd be on the phone. Sunday night would be
a good 2 hours.
This happened. How did you guys deal with it when this happened?
And vice versa. So you were like,
but when you done that, how did you do that? Because there's questions that we need to answer and be real. That there is no marriage manual per se, and you have to know how to deal with it. So you have to get that wise counsel. We've been there. Most of the time we've been there. Or this is how not exactly how that's going. What they did. It's going to work for you, but at least it's something that you can draw on as a reference.
Yeah.
You realize you're not the only one.
That's so good. That's amazing. So good. You dropped so many good gems. There's like I can't even try and sum up because there were so many good points that you guys raised. Honestly, guys, if you missed half of it, please do go back to the YouTube, follow, share, like, watch it. You, like, there's nuggets in this thing. You need to go. I mean, oh gosh, we've got questions coming in on Instagram. What makes you really ready for marriage? And I want to tackle this question, but before we get to this question, which I think it's Starboy has asked, what makes you really ready for marriage? My question is, have you guys ever had a breakdown in communication, and how have you navigated your way through it?
Okay, so one of our ground rules for our marriage from the beginning was, no matter how upset any of us are, no matter how angry we are, how much we disagree or whatever, no one leaves the house.
Ooh, good.
Come on.
It's not this. I'm going out. Bang. Go on about your business. No. Nobody leaves the house. And for nearly 23 years, no one has left the house. There was one time where one of us, I'm not going to say
got
who.
To the door.
One
got to the door.
One of us was at the front door.
The door.
Right? So one of us at the front door, and the other person said, "Are you leaving?" In other words, are we doing this? Because we've been going for a good 18 years and no one walked out. So are we doing the walking out thing that we said we'd never do? And that other person, whoever that person was, not going to say who it was, that person closed the front door and went back in the house somewhere and stayed vexed in a corner somewhere. So we have vowed not to leave the house, because that's where problems start. Then you go outside the house, you start to talk to that friend, and they start giving you rubbish advice and whatever.
I would leave here.
He say that. No, so we stay in the house. That is the golden rule, and it has worked for us.
And so that kind of helped to almost like not like push each other away, or
just affirms we're here to stay.
We're here to get. That's a statement in itself.
Yeah.
So it's that you're not. I'm getting mums for the weekend. Oh
yeah, no, bro.
Leave and cleave.
Leave and cleave.
Listen.
Come on now.
Guys,
there's a message. There's a word for somebody. There's a word for somebody. Leave and cleave.
Leave and cleave.
Leave and cleave.
What it says is, I'm still in this. I'm vexed right now. I want to talk to you right now because I need to deal with some stuff. But I'm not leaving. I'm actually here. I'm still here. I'm still here.
Right. So my question, right? Well, it's not my question. I think it was Starboy who said, so what happens when the leaving the house thing is like a struggle? Because I think for some people, when the argument gets too hot, the leaving isn't necessarily that I'm leaving you, but it's a leaving to get away from the situation that is causing the conflict. And if you stay, things may get to a level 10 you know what I mean? And so some people need to walk it out. You know, they need to just take a walk and get themselves away from the situation, gather themselves, and then come back.
I get that. I get that, because I think this is something that Cliff and I decided from the get-go. So it was like a rule from the beginning. Some people didn't have that.
Okay, cool.
You know what I mean?
Got you.
Other people didn't have that. So it might be, you know, this is riling me up so much, I know I need to leave the house. And because you didn't have that rule set as a ground rule, whatever, then we get it. You may have to go and just breathe it out and come back, you know.
And then sometimes it gets easy to leave.
Too easy.
Yeah, that's true.
And it gets too easy to leave. Too easy to walk out.
I'll just go to the front door again.
1 hour turns to 2 hours. 2 hours turns to 5 hours.
Head down your mate's house.
That's a good
I'll see you in the morning. Whose house you going to? Whose house you going to at 1 o'clock at night?
Till the morning. Where are you? Get home.
And Sister Susie, she ready to open.
Let me just stay with you. Come talk. Come and get a drink.
Come and stay on the couch.
And she want to stay on the couch too.
I see you ready to go back.
Hallelujah. And she know you married. Jeez. My God.
I want to know you.
You better stay home. Stay home. Stay home. Stay vexed up in your room somewhere.
You stay here to go in the bathroom.
Be vexed. Be vexed in the garden.
Lock the door. You stay in the kitchen.
Don't leave. Don't leave. It opens up a can of
put on some music, whatever you do. Whatever you need to relax.
Find a man cave at home.
Whatever you need to do to relax.
Stay home.
It can snowball.
Yeah.
It's a snowball effect.
You're right.
You're right.
Obviously, I'm not talking about if you're in an abusive relationship.
Yeah,
That's completely.
Yeah.
You need to call the police. Call the police. Call the police.
Call the police. Call the police.
Call the police.
Call the police.
Get this brother up out of here.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about your life-threatening situation.
Yeah. That's completely different.
We're gonna work through this. Okay, you might need time to like calm down, and that's why in the card game there is actually a card called I Need More Time.
The pass card.
Or I'm feeling intimidated. These two cards in the game acknowledge we're almost like at breaking point or at boiling point.
I need a break. I need to stop. I can't.
Let's stop. Because sometimes you get so heated that you don't even realize.
And that's why I think I wanted to acknowledge, you know, I don't know who said it, but I wanted to acknowledge the fact that if he feels I'm so wound up right now, because everyone comes from different backgrounds. I'm so wound up that actually I hear you telling me to stay in the house. But the way I'm feeling, I need to go and walk up the road and walk down a few times and then come back in. And that's the best thing to do. If it's going to turn into something violent and you don't want it to, and you know yourself, then you know what? Leave the house. Do that 10-minute walk, breathe, come back, and then go again.
Because when you know your triggers. Sorry,
exactly
go ahead.
No, go. You go.
No, go ahead.
Because I love like what you guys identified at the beginning of your marriage. Cliff, you said, listen, don't nag me because you won't get the best out of me. And Marie, you were able to say, don't raise your voice because you're not going to get the best out of me. So for the person who needs to leave the room, for the person who needs to take a walk, that is their cool down time. If you push them for too long, then you get the worst out of the situation. You won't get them in the best of their frame of mind. However, for those who do not have that as a trigger, don't use that as a get out of jail.
No, don't use that excuse.
Use that in your back part as your back pocket. Try your best to stay, because especially like when you have your children, if your children see you easily walk out the house after an argument, it sends a completely different communication.
Wrong message.
Totally.
And
if you have been raised in a situation where your parent left, if you now have come from a single parent home because a parent has left,
right,
you having that significant other, your spouse, now walk out on you, damage.
It does
It does different
trauma.
things. So exactly, trauma. Exactly, and it sets a precedent. Because then what happens is we don't know how to resolve a situation without walking away. Walking away needs to be to calm down, but it may be that you go to another room and you pick it up again in a few minutes or hours or whatever it is.
Absolutely.
But you have to gauge in your relationship, in your marriage, how you need to communicate with each other. And if you think, you know what, we've been around it. Because, okay, let's be honest. When an argument has ensued, there is very little time that you've only said what your point is once. When someone's having an argument, you've made your point. You've said your point again.
You said the same thing about 20 million times.
You said the same thing. Nothing has changed.
I think I should try Chinese now.
Because you said the same thing over and over to each other. But at the end of the day, you're still there. You're still going back and forth. True. Okay, let's stick a pin in this because we haven't actually arrived at a conclusion. But to stop this from progressing and getting into a no-go zone, like what Arlene said, is, you know, to stop you going and crossing the line, walking out the door, or going to sleep downstairs on a separate bed or in the spare room. Or something.
That's another thing we don't do.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Stay in the same bed.
Stay in the same bed, be vexed, but be back to back.
I say you can be in the same bed and you can be dangling on the edge, you know, almost want to fall off. Be in the same bed.
Be in the same bed.
Stay in the same bed. Stay in the same bed. And it's powerful when the two of you can sleep next to each other and be upset, but be committed to one another to communicate. As hard as this situation is right now,
it's true.
I know that I love you and you know that you love me, and we will get through this disagreement.
Definitely.
And go ahead.
Yeah, and the Bible says, don't let the sun go down on your wrath. So as much as I'm saying you're dangling, because you might say good night, good night. You know, it's not with love. It's not.
You don't mean it. You don't mean it.
You kind of mean it, but you're still not happy. You're not happy. But you'll say good night to each other. Do you know what I mean? And you know you still got to pick this thing up and get through.
This is a girl.
Grunt.
But as you said, it's about being
communication.
Able to be real.
Yeah.
I think once you realise that you're in it for the long haul, because some people don't. Some people think that marriage is fun but marriage is work.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And people think that once you get married, it's all over. That's the time it starts.
Yeah.
Remember, we were talking about. I think a couple of months ago, we were talking about that you have to water your own grass of your own garden, because a lot of time we look and think, "Oh man, why
grass so green?
Why is their grass so green? Why is that lawn so perfect?" Our next door neighbor, I'm gonna talk quietly because our next door neighbor, is a garden enthusiast. Yeah, a grass like carpet. Yeah, to make our garden look put to shame. Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
But every day she's out there fertilizing, she's out there pruning, she's out there cutting, she's out there planting,
loving on her grass, loving on her flowers.
She's making it work.
You can see it.
You can see it.
It shows.
Now, even if you go and take over her garden, if you don't work it, that her good garden is going to end up like your rubbish garden. Because you have to take time to prune and develop. So, look after your own marriage, look after your own relationship with communication. Talk about it. Even when you feel like you can't talk about it, you have to learn, because you have to be careful of third parties.
Talk about it.
Because third parties don't always know what they're talking about.
Right.
You better examine their marriage.
And they want to give you advice. It's like, so where's your husband? So where's your good marriage? Where's your good marriage?
Where's your credentials? What are you talking about? Where's your stripes?
Exactly.
Where's your stripes?
And I just want to digress slightly. You know, we're talking about communication still, but while Cliff said something there, it triggered something. It's about being honest and open about everything, even in the bedroom. It came to me.
Are all the children sleeping?
Are
the children sleeping?
your children sleeping?
Unpack it.
Even in the bedroom.
Unpack it.
Okay? If you don't enjoy something, have the conversation. I feel like I'm talking to somebody. Look in the camera. Look in the camera. Don't grin and bear it.
Hello, somebody.
Tell him, no, let's switch that up a bit, because that don't feel so great.
That ain't working.
That don't work for me. I guarantee you'll find something that works for both of you. It's important because some people just grin and bear it, just think this is how it's just got to be. Say how you feel, and then you'll both be happier.
Does it feel good? Does it not feel good? Is it still anything for you?
We had a couple that were married over 25 years, and he played the game, and
the person.
What did I say?
Go on.
What did I say? They played the game.
They
played the game, and we have different topics on our cards, and this one was, what was it again? Positions. Yeah. Now is everybody sleeping? Everybody's sleeping.
So hold on 1 second, guys. So let me just reset the room. So for those of you guys who have joined like halfway through, we're talking to Clif and Marie. They are married couple, ministers, pastors, and they created their own communication game for married couples, or even not even just for married couples, for people in relationships, right? Absolutely. And it's an incredible game. Siobhan and I have played it a number of times, and it literally just instigates communication.
Questions
and they talk about the stuff that you probably wouldn't talk about on your own. Because when you turn the card and you read it, you're like Jesus. It's just like, okay, so we're going there.
We're going in.
Let's go there.
So make sure that you guys connect with them. It's called My Truth Card Game. Yeah. So if you go to their Instagram handle, direct message them, and they'll sort you out with one of these. It is amazing. It will help. It does. Resources. And it's not bad price as well. So come on, guys. Come on. So yes, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So Marie. It has different topics on there, right? And the topic was positions. And it's about positions in the family, positions in the home, and positions in the bedroom. Now the person saw the card and said, "Thank you."
They started shouting, running around the house.
I've been wanting to talk. I've been wanting to talk about this for a long time. And he said, the card says, blah, blah, blah. And so they talked about it and they went in. And he came back rejoicing and singing and praising the Lord.
Why? Because communication.
They talked about it. They opened it up.
So this is my thing. Sorry to cut you, Cliff. So because what I'm sensing is that people are sometimes saying that they're married to their best friends. However, areas that are really important to them, they are unable to talk about it.
Yeah. Come on.
There's almost a fear or an embarrassment to share something, because ultimately you're kind of thinking, what is she gonna think of me? Or what is he gonna think of me?
Right.
You understand? And I feel like, I mean, obviously your game is incredible and it's an amazing resource for people to do that. But I almost feel like something must be said about how important it is to get to that level of vulnerability with your spouse. And I'm saying it to myself because it has been very difficult. I would say probably over the past maybe 3 years is when we've really gotten down to so what do you really want? What do you really want?
What are you really saying here?
not what you're happy with and comfortable with, but what do you really want? Do you get what I'm saying? And some of those conversations are hard. Like, okay, I'll testify, right? So we celebrated 10 years. Yeah, come on. So we celebrated 10 years of marriage last year, September, right? Praise the Lord, hallelujah. You know, we're doing our time.
Get your stripes.
And Siobhan, you know, And Siobhan asked, so we went away, it was fantastic. And Siobhan asked me probably about 2 weeks leading up to it, right? And she said, Aura, we both need to create a playlist, okay, of songs that we've always wanted to listen to, but haven't almost been allowed to. Do you know what I mean? You know them songs, right? So you know the songs you used to listen to, and you put those songs away when you got married because you're just like, when you get your husband, you're like, no, we can't listen to them songs no more. So she said, put a playlist together. And I'm telling you, it was
baby making music.
Right.
But
hallelujah.
The baby making music.
So it's like, and I dodged it.
Yeah.
I dodged it for weeks. The white one.
Sorry.
The white one. Sorry. Yeah. I dodged it for weeks and weeks and weeks, and it was only when we were on the drive going up to our secret destination that we started to unravel this thing. Jesus. And I was just like, so I said to her, so she was just like, "Wait, have you done your playlist?" And I was just like, "No, I was making all these excuses." And she had done hers, right? So we started playing hers, and I was like,
pull the car over.
Jesus.
Okay. But let me add a bit of context.
We're going there, huh?
Okay. The context is the kind of songs that you have to have on your playlist is the songs that you listened to when you were a teenager that you were like, listen when I get baby. It's not just a song that means something to you. It's a song that you were like, when you heard that song, it made you go weeping, whatever it was. The songs that traveled with you.
I'm telling you, and literally when I heard her playlist, I said, "Cool, I'm gonna go in now."
Oh, that's what you wanted to do. Okay.
Yeah. So I went all the way, and trust me, whilst I was sitting there, I was just like, who is she going to think that I am when she hears the songs that I am going to put on here? Because I had some songs I can't even say. Songs I can't even say on the live because
it feels hot.
You're just not ready. You know what I mean? Like videos that didn't have an uncut version. It would like just you know. So come on, somebody. So but it's a real thing because that getting to that level of vulnerability, like unraveling vulnerability in marriage is such a deep thing because there's just that fear of being judged.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Especially as Christians.
Yeah.
Because we're supposed to be upholding, purity and holy. But listen, when it comes to anyway.
Talk about it.
I mean, really.
It's the quiet ones you gotta watch. It's the quiet ones you gotta watch.
But that's what it is. We unfortunately, we shout the loudest from the rooftop.
Blackstreet.
H-Town, mint condition, Blackstreet.
Come on.
Then I love it because I know H-Town was up on the list. Yeah.
I don't know those people.
Guys, you don't know. No.
Usher Raymond fans.
I was saying.
He was sweetly saved. He wasn't allowed. His mum would sniff it. She would hear it.
She would discern it.
She would discern it. She would discern it at the cross.
Oh wow!
I'm so sorry, sir.
You did like there's nothing like this.
Oh, anyway, come on,
that was his thing.
Omar
that was his. Yeah.
Listen, come on.
But at the end of the day, I think that unfortunately, like what you said, in the bedroom, sometimes these are the areas that are least discussed.
Yes.
Like communication with how a person feels or how a person's dealing with something or a financial issue or a family matter. Those are the things that we tend to share and communicate. But some of the more deeper things, some of the more intimate things that like things that we're not happy with or things that have been done that we haven't expressed that we didn't like.
Yeah.
There are things that we may have made each other feel that we haven't communicated actually. This is what this has done. And I guess the problem that we have at the moment is we have marriages that are taking hits or undergoing cracks, or we have relationships that are taking hits and undergoing cracks, and we're trying to just soldier on. It's like it's like not going to the hospital to get your arm put in a cast. When it's fractured. It needs help. It needs that level of support. It needs that attention. But for whatever reason, we're trying to soldier. We're trying to hide it. It's so crazy. We're walking around with a limp, and we put on another mask. Exactly that. And so it goes back to what you were saying, Clif and Marie, about, are you really okay? Like actually asking that question. And you know, like what I love about the game is when we sit down, there are questions that are in there where I now have to be like, well, I know I said this before, but actually here's the whole truth. You know, like we can tell part of a truth to the person. So you know, when you said this to me, I know I said this, but actually the other side
a bit more was,
before we even met, there were other things that had gone on with me, or before we even met, I had been in this experience. And so every time I now come up to it, but because you're not even, because so much time has passed, you forget that those are the wounds that you've had.
That's right.
Carried,
and they've affected you in your marriage. The trauma. And unfortunately, if we're not having these conversations, and I love what Claudine, hi Claudine. I love what she said when she said fear of vulnerability. These issues, because they're not spoken about because of fear, it now causes us to get our back up with ourselves. So the spouse won't even understand why you're vexed about something else before. But go ahead.
I just gotta get my charger from my phone. 1 second.
He's getting his charger. You know what? It is so true. I remember hearing a story about a husband who, every time the wife would say, "Oh, your dinner's on the table," he would explode, and she was just like, "What's going on?" You know. But when he was a child, his mum used to say it like, "Your dinner on the table." And so every time she said it, he was like almost referring back to what happened, and but they never talked about it. So she's like, "What is going on?" Well, I'm just saying your dinner's ready. I'm just, but he had a whole lot of stuff going on. But then once they shared it, they were able then to move on to a better place.
It's powerful.
Communication is
so powerful. But yeah, guys, so I hope you guys have been enjoying this conversation on Instagram. Let me just quickly go through. I think there were a few questions. Miss Atkins, we celebrated our 10-year anniversary last August. Congrats. We have 4 kids under 10, including the newborn. Wow. Strength to you. Strength to you. Divorce is not an option. Yes. I think that's another rules to set at the beginning, to not let divorce be an option. But
third parties are not there when when your heart is pouring out to your partner. That's so true.
Very
but
true.
I think further down, that's the song.
1 night away from the kids, once a month, including definitely.
We do date night. We do date night every week. So every Monday is every Tuesday, is date night.
And we have family night as well, or we try to have family night as well, because as your family grows,
of course,
you have to remember, you have to keep that sacred.
You
have to keep your marriage sacred. You have to ring fence that.
Yes.
Because remember, the order is God first, marriage second, children third, and everything else comes after that.
And when we say God first, that doesn't mean the church. God first. Say that again. Say that again.
God first, marriage second. children and family third.
And the church.
And church, everything
and friends
else goes
and all that.
After that. You have to get that order.
Yeah.
God first. But
Okay.
don't confuse church.
Don't get so caught up with church that you don't have no time for your wife, your husband, your children.
Like I said, marriage, you've got to make your marriage work.
Yeah.
You've got to make what you've got to make.
Absolutely.
The question that's come in. What does your date night
it.
consist of? Is it always leaving the house or a mix? Well, for us, our date night is it depends on your financial. It depends on your financial status, because sometimes during lockdown we didn't go anywhere.
Nobody could go anywhere. Yeah.
So we was at home a lot of time. We were getting takeout. We just made our front room our sanctum.
Yeah.
And we like to watch movies because I think when we first got married, we didn't have any money. Yeah. So we had to make it. We had to make it happen. We
watched The Simpsons,
Star Trek. We used to watch Friends. All those. That kept us going. I'm serious. That kept us going. Because that was the date night was almost like whatever we made it, because we were fun anyway. So it doesn't all have to be going out. It doesn't have to be spending money. It doesn't. It's simple little things that
we might sometimes we'd have our dinner here, and then we have a McDonald's nearby. Dangerous. We'll just go and get an apple pie and sit in McDonald's and just have a chat. Or we'll just be at home and we'll just get takeout and then we'll watch a movie together. So it consists of that, and then when we were allowed to go, although it's open up now, we'll go out to a restaurant here and there, but not all the time, because sometimes we don't have the money to do that. But just make that time to be together. Put the phones down.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Down.
It's so true.
The phone down.
She's not talking
Put
to me.
the phone. Are you with me? Are you with me now? Put the phone. And just spend time with each other.
Middlesex University. No, I didn't go to Middlesex University.
You probably look like somebody.
The wrong cliff. It's the wrong cliff.
But you know what I love, and guys, can I just say, I have to give you guys like 120% props and ratings, because I think a lot of couples, they start out doing date night and then it kind of falls by the wayside. But the fact that you guys have been consistent with it, you've been making the time to invest in your marriage and invest with your children, I think is testament. And it's like what you said about tip a little water. It's like I think it was Arlene that said we know what happens to plants when they're not watered. Like these are the things that we need to be consistent with. I think we're consistent with our job, we're consistent with our church, we're consistent with the things for other people. But when it comes sometimes to the most important people that we're doing our day-to-day with, you kind of we'll do date night next month.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, because we get used to each other.
We get complacent.
Exactly.
We get complacent.
And that's what you have to mind. Like I said, marriage means work. And if you stop working, the marriage stops working. It's like the garden. It's like your garden. The moment you stop cutting the grass, the moment you start the weeds start growing, this one starts growing. Before you know it, you've got a forest out there. Same with your marriage. Same with your marriage. When you stop maintaining it,
make an effort.
And then you look at this one else and you think, oh, she looks nice. No, they're looking after
the garden.
Get
your eyes off
your
her.
Own garden.
Your own garden.
Cut your own grass.
Keep your eyes. Keep your eyes.
Keep your eyes on your own grass.
Keep your eyes on the right prize.
Grass is not greener on the other side.
The grass is not greener on the other side.
It looks greener because they maintain it.
That's right.
You have to maintain yours.
Yeah.
Come on.
Work at it.
Work at it.
Love
Amazing.
it.
And working at it. And working at it is fun. It doesn't have to be like, make it fun.
But I think you also have to want to make your marriage work.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
And it's being able to keep it alive, keep it varied, keep it. And it's that mindset. Divorce is not an option.
It's not an option.
You're my life partner. So my parents are married for 50 plus years. Marie's parents are married for 30 some years. So between them, it's 8 years of marriage that we've seen.
80 years, yeah.
So young marriages, you need to see or align yourself with experience, align yourself with people that are genuine, and are real. You know what I mean? People that you can turn up at their house, or ring them up and say, right, this is what's happening. Because sometimes, as you said, there are a lot of masks, false and fake marriages out there. I'm not saying that we're perfect. I'm not saying that we're perfect.
We are not perfect.
I'm not saying we're not perfect, but when I can be real with you, so look, we've been there. Yes, there was time when we had a disagreement. Yes, there was time.
Yeah,
but you know
absolutely.
what? This is how we resolved it. This is how we work for it. This is how we try and maintain our marriage. This is how I try to. You can see. Oh, Marie always does this for Cliff, and Cliff always tries to do this for Marie. You see these things and think, cool. These little things is what people need to see and make a difference. Say, no, I'm going to try that as well.
Yeah.
And making ourselves available to say, especially to the young ones or people who are fresh to think that it's all about Hollywood. I want to spend $50,000 on my marriage. Our marriage costs 10 grand. On the wedding. Our marriage costs 10 grand.
10 grand.
And that included the honeymoon. Oh, it's a few years.
Well, that was 23 years ago. So
23 years ago. But at the same time, one of the best advice we had was our friend who said to me, "Don't spend your money on the wedding. Spend it on the honeymoon.
Have a nice wedding. Get the dress. Have the dress you want. Have the outfit you want. But spend it on the honeymoon.
Spend it on the honeymoon. That's what
because people are going to complain about the food. Oh, it's too cold. It's too hot.
And then forget about you.
So we went to a 5-star plus hotel for 2 weeks.
Come on.
Yo.
Come on.
That's good.
But going back to communication and you have, that is an art that has to be perfected, and it takes time.
Day by day.
It's that daily being a good listener, both verbal and non-verbal.
Well,
come on.
See, say, Marie, you don't look too good. No.
Notice me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How are you? And I'm going to hands up. Sometimes I miss it. I'm going to say I missed it. Because we can be real with each other as well. So I missed it. And Marie will say, Cliff, where are you? So babe, I'm so sorry. I missed it. And you have to acknowledge that and say, yeah, okay, cool. Let's get back. Let's fix that. Again, because sometimes, especially with ministry, you can see yourself going like this.
Yeah.
And if you don't rein it in,
bring it in.
Because children will come in, ministry will come in,
They'll
work
come
will
in between.
come in between that.
And
you have to have, you almost have to be alert and watch it. I feel a bit distant.
Yeah. So sometimes we'd have the joke and we get into bed and be like, "Oh, who are you?"
Hello.
But
you watch it. You watch it, and these things you have to be alert.
Aware.
Because it's the little foxes sometimes that
all the
the little foxes that can come in and mess things up. But if you're aware of it, you're remember 100% loving each other. I'm out loving Marie. Marie's out loving me. Not necessarily monetary or gifts or stuff. But sometimes it's the little things, the dinners, the teas, and even then I miss it sometimes.
A little bar of chocolate.
You went to the fridge, you make yourself a drink, and then ask me if I want the drink. Some little things like that.
I will pull him up. I will pull him up.
Yes, that's standard. That is a standard. So what? We're both sitting down here together watching this show. Your mouth is dry, and my mouth is not dry.
But only you want thirsty. Only you want watching. But you know what? I missed it.
We're hungry too. Exactly.
Dessert.
It was just the asking. It's just the thought. It's just the thought.
Oh, I was in your thought.
Yeah.
We're working on it. We're all a work in progress. We won't always get it right.
And again, that's why I said again, when I first got married, the first question I asked was, teach me how to love you. Yeah? Because sometimes we got it down pat as men, as women, we did a good job. And even going back to the bedroom, we was in this conversation when men session, and this bishop, and he because he told us as all as men, he said his wife kind of like not had enough, but she bought him a book and got delivered the book, and I think the book was called 21 Ways to Satisfy Your Wife.
Jeez.
Jesus.
Because he thought he was all that in a bag of chips, and
he missed it.
And she slipped him the book.
Honey, can you read this book, please? She didn't make him feel bad or low or less of a man.
Yeah.
But she was able to address.
Wow.
Honey, I need more.
Yeah.
Communication. So then when you're addressing and saying, no, honey, I'm not satisfied or I need more, she's not going thinking about such and such. They're not going to think about such and such because it's being addressed.
Yeah, you're dealing with it together.
Yeah. So they need to go, well, he didn't pay me attention, and Sister Shuji in the office, she paid him holy attention.
And she always dressed up.
Always dressed up.
All that stuff.
Or Sister Susie.
She always brings you
Pray-
coffee. You don't
Pray
get
for
your husband coffee.
pray for Sister Susie, you know.
Pray for the
Pray for Sister
Susies
Susie,
all
you
over
know.
the world. Yeah, because
My
I believe there are a
God.
few of them.
Susie
Pray for
lonely.
them to find their dad, you know. Guys, listen, it's been amazing. Like, I think that you guys have. I don't know how you've done it, but somehow you've squashed in all of the topics that we have been talking about since the beginning of the year. You've talked on body language, you talked on love languages, you've talked on, you know,
man cave,
divorce. I'm just like wow.
Literally, it's almost like a synopsis of
just a summary.
all of our topics so far.
Crazy.
I just love it. I love it.
Powerful.
Oh, okay. So we're just gonna catch up on a few of the comments. I love it. So Arlene has said, I remember a song that used to say, "Listen with your eyes." What you said just reminds me of that. Or going to a buffet table at an event and you come back with just one plate, even though the two of you are there.
Oh gosh! Oh Lord!
My
And
God.
Mrs. Atkins, she said basically, it's about knowing your spouse's love language, and that's beautiful.
The giving language and the receiving language.
Come on now.
And also, you have to realize that sometimes your needs change as you get older.
Over time.
That's the truth.
Right.
So what might have worked in the first 3 years for 4 to 5 years of marriage
ain't working no more.
Isn't working 5 to 7 or 8 to 10. So there was a constant readjusting, reading because you change.
I don't need acts of service anymore. I just need quality time.
Come on,
somebody.
Talk about it.
Hello, somebody.
Come on.
And
I don't need the words of affirmation anymore. I've had that from you. I'm at a different place. I hear you.
Come on.
I hear you.
Absolutely.
And that's knowing and realizing how you change. And that's why communication is so important. And that's why the My Truth card game is so important. Not that you play it every week or every month, but sometimes that catch-up session is I'm not like that. I'm not there anymore. I'm not at that place anymore.
And how you answered it then may be very different to how you answered it.
Good. That's good.
And for some reason this card has come to mind real quick. I'm gonna share it real quick. It says my truth about being naked. I think this is for someone. I think this is for someone.
I think every card is for someone.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But we were selling this and I was talking to a wife and she was like, oh my God, no, I don't like being naked. I don't like my curves. I said, what if that's all he wants? And she suddenly went, oh, she hadn't even thought about that. She had to rethink. So she's trying to hide herself. And I said, what if that's all he's looking for? He just wants to see you. You're hiding and all he wants is to see you.
But it's not if men are stimulated by what they see.
Visual. They want to see.
He does want to see.
He wants to see you, girl.
Because if he doesn't see you, he's gonna go look somewhere else.
Come on. And you don't want him to be looking somewhere else.
Come on, let him see
Keep
you,
your
girl.
eyes on the right prize.
Let him see you.
Now make sure he likes. Now make sure he still likes it. He's gonna like me anyhow.
Make an effort.
Come on. Make an effort.
Make an effort.
He better like what he sees.
20 years ago. That's not an excuse. Okay?
Make an effort. Come on, do better. Go to the gym. Pray for Lord.
Get that workout in, man. Get that workout in.
Same way how you're working to work on your marriage, work on self and presentation. And all of those things. It's important. It's important because at the end of the day, my body's not my own, it's yours, and your body's not your own, it's mine. So excuse me, you're the one that's filling up my body with the things that I shouldn't be having. You're putting on the weight that I don't want you to be gaining. That's not fair.
And even for the men who are saying that the ladies need to fix up and lose a bit of weight, make sure you're doing it too.
That's it.
Yeah. Amen.
Just make sure you're doing it too.
Do it together.
Because
getting that insanity.
Because we don't want no heart attacks. We don't want no heart attacks and sweat all over the place and I can't 5 minutes I'm tired. No.
Jesus.
Oh Jesus. Come on.
Endure.
Afrobeat.
Yes.
We have it all. I'm telling you.
Work it. Yeah.
Oh gosh, guys, it's been amazing having you on. We're gonna have a think if we should have you guys come back. No, because it's so important to talk about these things, and I think this is why we're so passionate about marriage, because it's one of those things where it's generational. You know, there's so much experience. You guys have been married for over 20 years. Like, there's so much in that 20 years that people of today need to hear, and I feel like when we were in our 20s is different to what I'm seeing people now in their 20s, because when we were in our 20s, we were exposed to particular things, and we were able to see particular things, and I just feel like the generation coming up aren't exposed to the same types of things.
It's true.
And so there is such a need for these types of conversations, because it's not happening in churches. Do you understand what I'm saying? And the next generation needs to hear
they really do
that marriage is still about building. It's not just about what you get, but it's about what you put in and what you go through. Because if you don't go through nothing, you're just not going to stand the test of time.
Definitely. I just want to read what Zanelle has said.
Yeah, sure.
So she said, for me, it's just about understanding each other's love language. So her hubby bought her a very expensive car, and at times I think he feels like, although it's a very expensive car, he's not sure that she actually appreciates it. But for her, that's not how she wants to be loved. Now, the difficulty is he's gone out to do this grand gesture to show his love, like, listen.
And you know what, sometimes, sorry to cut you in, sometimes the danger in that is we are trying to give what we think the person wants.
There it is.
And sometimes even
communication.
And sometimes even we're trying to do it to showboat that this is what I did for my spouse, with no clue what she
you missed
wants.
it, and you spent a lot of money missing it.
Woo! And, I mean, don't get me wrong, I think that and
thank you for sharing, by the way.
Thank you so
because
much,
that's
you know, powerful. And I think that when we get to this stage, I think that's where an alarm bell's going off to say, actually, we're missing something. We're missing each other in this. Either I'm not being clear enough with how I want to be loved, or we need to look at how we are interpreting each other's love languages. Because definitely. There's nothing worse than the person feeling like, I did this for you, why are you not using it? So, prime example, Ulrich is notorious for me buying him something to wear, or it could be clothes or trainers or whatever it is, and he will still wear the old thing and not the new thing. And I'm like,
what's that? What's all that?
What's that about? Why? And he's like, yeah, but it's brand new. I don't have to wear it just because it's brand new. And I'm like,
exactly.
That's the reason why I bought it. That is the purpose. So it replaces the thing. Exactly. Now, I can't fault him for why he would pick up something and not choose something else. However, it makes me feel like, so
I didn't appreciate your gift.
You don't like it. You didn't want it. You need it, or whatever it is. But I get it. I understand the hubby's perspective with the insult or the offense, and I also understand Zanelle's perspective, where she's sharing to say, you know what, it's just not what means the most to me. Like, what would have meant something for her if she's not a gifts person. For her, it might be acts of service or quality time. For her, it might be words of affirmation or touch. And I remember there were times where Ulrich and I, we weren't seeing eye to eye with our love languages, and we had to go through that season where we had to sit down and have that difficult conversation with each other.
Communicate,
exactly.
But in that communication, it's pride has to come all the way
down.
Because I think there's an egotistical thing about men to perform.
Yeah.
Right. We want to perform. We want to be Superman. We want to show that we've got this on lock. We want to show that we're the best.
Got it on lock, man.
And just like, you know, your bishop, you know, talking about, you know, thought he was all that and a bag of chips, but actually missed it. And I think this is another thing that we have to also teach the young men, because we are very performance orientated. Do you know what I'm saying? Even in the bedroom, because we think, we're doing a good job because we did this and we did that and we did this, but actually, but actually, can we talk about that? Because actually, see what happened there, yeah? At 2 minutes 15. Nah.
Jesus. Go there. Go there.
I'm just saying, you know, and I think that's it though, because sometimes it is that, you know, it's the fear of saying, no, you're not quite doing it right. You know, you're not quite kissing me right. Do you know what I mean? There's too much. I don't like that. Do you know what I mean? And then you hurt people. It's bruising the egos. You know,
that's exactly what it is. It's ego. How important is ego in your marriage? Because if the bruising of the ego is so much that it's now stopping you from actually just being honest, you're going to continue to perpetuate the cycle. Nothing's going to change. No one's going to be. So if you're not able, if you're not able to say to each other, do you know what? I actually prefer less hair.
Woo! You went there.
If you can't say that, then
mate, vulnerability in marriage, man. I think that's going to be the next topic, man.
You have to be, and you have to remember. Sometimes it's not what it said, it's how it said.
How you say it.
To not person. What it said, it's how it said.
What are you doing? What is that going to do for a man?
What
are you doing?
That hurts.
Back to communication and how
it's true.
So the message is delivered and conveyed without the person making them feel small, make them feel
their whole
embarrassed.
They're not the confidence is gone.
Out the window.
Everything just shut down. Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
I love it.
No,
and even so, yes, Jesus love has basically said honesty is the best policy. That was one of our questions last week or the week before. Is honesty the best policy? Are we able to be as honest with our spouse as we would like to be?
And the truth is, we're not. There's levels to it.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? There's levels to it.
And how it's said.
It's
how it's said.
Yeah, I think it's how it's said.
It's true.
Yeah, but I also think how honest.
Like you're breasting, you know, like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
you say, honey,
but you hand them in.
Honey,
would you like him in? No, thank you. Would you like
that's how Buddha. See, that's my problem. Okay, what if they say no? What if they say no? What if they say no?
No, but then you've got to say, I think you would like it. And then you see that face and kind of go, I think she wants me to have this. I don't have a choice.
I'm having one. Here's one for you.
I wasn't asking you a question.
Yeah, but then I think that those, like, in that situation, it's nice and simple because it's light-hearted.
It's true.
But when it's about something more serious, if it's about something like performance, but also like, okay, I want another child. I don't think we're ready for another child right now. Right now, we're just hanging on with what we financially can afford. Having another child for this means we need to get another car, we need to get this,
lots involved.
Everything change it like that. But then you're communicating your want and your desire. But or your want or your desire is, I actually want to make love more times a week.
Yeah, schedule it in. Yeah.
Or I don't like your schedule.
Jesus.
I don't like it when you schedule me.
Jesus.
You know, like
it needs to be spontaneous.
Yeah.
But
some people do program it. Honey, it's Tuesday night.
I'm tired. Or I want it to be more adventurous or whatever it is. Like, at the end of the day, how are we with hearing what the other person has to say?
Yeah,
so it's not
exactly.
just you
How do we receive it?
Exactly. It's how do we receive it? If the person now says to you, I don't like what you're doing, I don't like the way you cook, I don't like the way you
Oh
clean,
Lord.
I don't think that you are sanitary enough, any of those things.
Ooh.
Fire.
Hearing that, how are we responding to our spouse who gives us that information?
Yeah.
Because most of the time when we talk about communicating, we talk about letting them know. Yeah, but when we're on the receiving end,
it doesn't feel nice. It doesn't matter how you say
it. It doesn't.
And this is the thing. It's like, obviously how you say it is very important. But I think at the same time, and this is why I keep going back down to the pride thing, I think we have to understand that marriage will require a level of vulnerability, which may hurt your feelings.
Yeah,
absolutely.
100%. And you have to be mature enough, because that's one of the things we always say: marriage is for mature people.
Yeah,
is that you have to be mature enough to understand that marriage is a mirror. It's going to show you the defects in who you are. It doesn't matter how much you prepped yourself up to be like, yes, I am a man of God, I'm a man of character, a man of integrity.
Put that Bible down, honey. Put that Bible down. We're married now.
and really, ultimately, it's not to her. It's not really to her.
Yeah,
it's just to be honest, to be honest and be real with each other.
Absolutely. Guys, it's been amazing. Thank you guys so much. I'm so glad that we were able to do the YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram as well. So guys, thank you guys so much who have joined us today. I hope that you guys, in fact, I don't even hope, I know that you have got something out of tonight.
Bless you guys.
As you guys know, we're going to be back here next week, Tuesday, 9 p.m. We're going to discuss something else. We may have another person come on. We may have Clif Marie part 2. But just
are they crazy? They want us back.
I know, right? Just keep your eyes on the socials. But before we go, I have to promote this thing. So Clif and Marie have created a game, a communication game. It's called My Truth, conversational game for couples. This is for people who are, what did they say, pre-engaged engagement. So if you're with someone, you're contemplating marriage, you're serious about this thing, and you guys want to have a controlled conversation with cards that allow you to have your own time because you're not ready to really talk about something. Listen, every corridor of communication is talked about and covered in this game. Make sure you follow them on Instagram. Their handle is My Truth Card Game. Direct message them directly so that they can get you a game out. Trust me, guys, if you're married,
if you're not married, if you're in a relationship, whatever it is.
We will mention the website because it will be back up.
Down at the moment.
It will get back up, but it is www.mytruthcardgame.com. Just hold on to that. It's down, but it will be back up again.
Amazing.
But thank you guys so much.
Thank you for having us.
Worries.
We really appreciate that. It's been a pleasure. It really has.
Always here. I love the fact you're just being real.
Yeah,
you've got to be real.
It's so necessary.
It's
so necessary. So well done for what you guys are doing.
Thank you guys so much.
Okay, so Clif and Marie, please stay on Zoom. We're gonna say goodbye to everybody, and then we'll wrap up.
Awesome.
Goodbye, guys.
Bye, everybody.
See you later.
In the beginning, head over to our YouTube and you can watch it there. It will be live on the replay.
Like, share, subscribe.
Yes, that's it.
All that good stuff.